No matter if points are gained or points are lost, there will be much to discuss. For analysis regarding tonight's Winnipeg Jets game, here are Dave Manouk, Ezra Ginsburg, and your host, Drew Mandel. The Illegal Curve post-game show, presented by Play Now, the official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets, starts now.
It started slow tonight in St. Louis, Missouri, between the Jets and the Blues, but it ended with a lot of fun and a lot of excitement. Good evening, Winnipeg. Good evening, Manitoba. For all those joining us live tonight at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue and on all of our social media platforms, we say good evening, universe, and welcome to the Illegal Curve post-game show. Along with Dave Manouk, I'm your host, Drew Mandel, here to discuss what turns out to be a very entertaining contest between the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. Dave, a real battle, an unusual game, certainly, but boy, was it an entertaining one tonight in St. Louis.
It was unexpected and slow. Unfortunately, one of those big issues. Okay, I'll keep talking and I'll through this. It's fun with the audio. Hopefully, we can get but
Here we go. I think I got this now.
Are we good now? Hold on now. 1 second. Give us another whirl here, folks.
Okay, I think that should probably be a little bit better in terms of the audio, maybe.
I don't disagree with Darth Skater. I mean, I think. Oh, now you can't hear me at all.
Okay.
Well, Drew,
I'm trying to work my way through it. This is what happens when producer Tim isn't here. So we're trying to work our way through it.
1 second.
There you go. People are saying perfect now.
Can you hear us or can you not hear us? Let's go. Okay.
There you go. People are saying in the chat they can hear us. I'm not sure that they can hear us here. They can hear us because we're loud enough at Boston Pizza.
Yeah. All right.
So that's the good sign of things. Everything's going on there. Okay. People in the chat are saying we're good.
Okay.
Everybody over here at Boston Pizza can hear us.
All right.
It's a party here. Let me tell you, folks, this was the place to be tonight watching the Winnipeg Jets game.
We're going to watch this.
You're going to watch this after? Okay, we got people coming up to us here at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue.
Live right now.
The crowd is going wild. This was a fun game here, Dave. This was a fun atmosphere at Boston Pizza tonight. Just a game that the first 40 minutes of this game, slow, a feeling out process. It looked like the Jets were going to fall a millimeter short when that puck was rolling along the goal line. And then this team, there's just something special right now about this team. The fact that they find a way to get the game into overtime after the Blues score that late goal on the power play. The Jets don't blink an eye. With under 50 seconds to go, they transition up the ice. We'll get into the Play Now game recap, of course. But I said it to you. There's a weird feeling of something a little bit more special than any previous year surrounding this team right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Drew. I think if you watch, we watch this team. Everybody inside Boston Pizza, all the folks watching in the chat. I mean, we've watched 57 games of this team, and one thing we've watched from this club this year, more than probably any other year, is the lack of quit.
Yeah,
the lack of when this team goes down, you're like, okay, I didn't think, to be honest with you, 3-2. Not only do they have they lose, they're now down. They had another 2 minutes of penalty to kill.
That's right.
So you're sitting there going, okay, so they're gonna have, as you said, Drew, 50 seconds to work with, or 54 seconds, I think it was, to work with. But that to me wasn't like a lack of time,
right?
And so you're sitting there going,
they had 50 seconds, and doing what, 20 of the 50 seconds inside the game.
And you just see the dig. You see the guys like Cole Perfetti. I mean, it's really nice play. Don't think that Kyle Connor getting the game tying assist doesn't mean a lot to him. And you can see the way he was playing tonight, that he was working hard. And then again, not only that, that was his 40th assist of the season, his 70th point. And for him to get the game-winning goal in the shootout probably means quite a bit to him with everything he was kind of going through with obviously the Four Nations stuff and not playing in the final game. So you know that this team, as you said, Drew, and you said it before, and we'll give Drew credit. I gave him credit on Twitter, folks. But Drew did say this was going to be, I thought, overtime. Drew did correctly call that this would be a shootout. So,
well, you talk about a shootout, so people were wondering, because this is the first shootout for the Winnipeg Jets this season. The last time the Jets had a shootout was October 28th of 2023. They lost to Montreal. In Montreal, that game went to a shootout. Nobody scored for the Jets in that shootout. Obviously, tonight they get the one goal in the shootout, which proves to be the difference as Eric Comrie steps up and stones all three St. Louis Blues. But it's been a hell of a long time since the Winnipeg Jets went to a shootout, and it certainly didn't seem like a shootout was going to be what was the end result tonight, given how back and forth that 3-on-3 overtime was.
Yeah, no, and I that's a good point. I mean, it was the first period and the second period. We're sitting here with everyone here for the IC watch party. We appreciate everybody coming to Boston Pizza and Taylor and watching the game with us. But, you know, it was a frenetic pace. You didn't think that it was going to get to that shootout because of all the opportunities. And credit Eric Comrie. I mean, look, that's 3 straight wins for him, especially after that really good win against, Carolina.
The shutout against the Hurricanes.
Yeah. Just, after having that sequence, of course, started the season, picked up a bunch of wins, then went that long stretch without getting any wins, no run support, and now having 3 wins in a row, I believe. He's feeling good. I mean, obviously, he's not going to love that first goal. We'll get into it during the recap.
Yeah, the second goal.
Sorry, the second goal, the goal that tied the game.
The wraparound by Robert Thomas.
Early in the third period.
That's right, 16 seconds or so into the third period, whatever it was.
He's not going to love that one, but ultimately, he's a battler, right? And it's a good look. Connor Hellebuck gets to stay home, so you gave him a night off. Doesn't have to travel. So like everything kind of comes up well for this Jets club. You got Gabriel Velarde getting 2 more goals, so he's creating and really showing again why he's such an important piece of this Jets club, Drew. So to me, again, like I said, we're running out of adjectives, ways to describe this Jets team, because it's remarkable that they just are always in these hockey games.
Yeah, that's just exactly what it is. It's the attitude that this team puts forth night in, night out, period in, period out, is something to behold. And it's something not to take for granted. And that's sort of been a theme as of late. I mean, look, game 57, they now have 40 wins. I mean, 40 wins in 57 games it's somewhat incomprehensible, is the word I would use when you consider that. And, again, you knew that this game was going to be a bit of a slog, that this wasn't going to be a picturesque game, given that they've had so much time off, the 15 days off between games, given that the Jets were not at full strength, no Josh Morrissey, we know he wasn't in the lineup because of the 4 Nations and because of the flu. And you felt that in the first 40 minutes. There was, it was just a regular sort of relatively blah game for the first 40 minutes. Not much of a surprise. St. Louis isn't a very exciting team. They're sort of a blah team as well. Yeah. But that third period really became a lot of fun. And then the energy that, this here at Boston Pizza, I'm sure everybody watching at home felt, as this game went on, was really something to behold. And to come back after giving that up, I know I'm sort of repeating myself, but it's more than just one game in coming back like that, in coming back so quickly and not saying, okay, fine, it's going to be, 50, it'll be 39 wins in 57 games. It won't be 40 wins in 57 games. Never mind that. You set a franchise record now.
Yeah.
9 straight wins. Yeah. So you set a franchise record based on the result of tonight's contest. It's another thing to be proud of for this group. The milestones keep adding up, the accomplishments keep adding up, and you saw it again tonight. And I mean, little things like that do matter.
Well, you can keep on rolling, but I just want to kind of finish off your point, because so that was the 40th win of the season, and this is game 57. And I just did some quick look at it. In last year, which of course we all acknowledge is one of the best seasons of ever, they pick up their 40th win, game 62. So 5 games quicker. 17-18, of course, the best season the Jets have ever had. They did that in game 66. So think about how far ahead of the curve, no pun intended,
nicely done,
this Jets club is right now. And yeah, it's remarkable. Again, like I said, people want to, we've talked about it. We had the conversation with Kent and Scott and a bunch of the guys here at Boston Pizza. Like, you want people sometimes inherently feel this need to criticize. It's very hard to criticize right now. I mean, there obviously are mistakes, and we'll get through it whenever we do our game recap. We're not sure if the speaker is
Yeah,
is playing
you
super
can
loud.
try fixing it, issue, boy, Bruce. You can fiddle with it. I'm doing something wrong with to
All
get
right.
the speaker working here at Boston Pizza.
You know what the truth is, and then the more important thing is that everybody's here. We appreciate everyone being here, but I don't think I'm paying your bills yet, Scott. But anyways, well, look, the point is that the Jets just haven't shown a lack of ability when it comes to, or a lack of pushback or lack of accountability, and that to me is one of the most important things they've done. Again, Drew, is a win in Game 57 some major thing that they're gonna? Is it gonna set them on the right course? No, but the fact of the matter is they have 25 games remaining, and as you said, they are now at 82 points. Like, realistically, and again, we're not going to even say it because it's not reality, but this team doesn't need to win very many more games to clinch a playoff spot. Probably what did they say that?
Well, they've clinched the playoff spot.
Well, I understand that. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend like I'm like the coaching staff where they're like, well, we can't talk about the playoffs until we make the playoffs. It's like, no. At this point, really, we're just talking about whether you're going to win the Central.
Yeah.
And it looks like you're going to win the Central and the West at this pace. So it just, everything came together. And again, it wasn't the cleanest game. It wasn't the prettiest game. And I know that folks focus sometimes on the fact that you're playing against teams that are not playoff teams, but it is worth remembering that these teams, a team like St. Louis, which is, I think they were 8 points back of the Canucks with the second wild card spot, are desperate for a win.
Sure.
They need these points. Just like all the teams, well, maybe not the San Jose Sharks, who we'll be talking about on Monday, Drew.
Right.
But these teams need the teams the Jets are playing who are below the line are going to be desperate teams. It's one of the things Scott O'Neill said, and I think it's a point that's well made.
Yeah. Again, it just goes to show the character of this team. It's something we've talked about a lot this season. And it's funny. This is a game where, again, think back to the couple of the different instances in that third period when the game was still tied at that point. The puck is rolling along the goal line. Nino Niederreiter is in the St. Louis Blues goal, and somehow that puck doesn't go over the line. I mean, it's truly, they say it's a game of inches. Today it was a game of millimeters. And you would have said, oh, look how close the Jets came to taking the lead in that instance.
Yeah.
And instead what happens is St. Louis gets that weird 4-minute power play because Neil Pionk takes two separate holding penalties after his stick shatters.
How many times have you ever seen that before?
You don't see that very often. I mean, his stick shatters when he's about to tee up for an offensive zone chance.
Yeah.
Instead, he's forced to take two different holding penalties. And good. It was just a testament to sort of how haggard the game was a little bit and how sort of much of a struggle it was a little bit at times. And the Jets, give up that power play goal, and there's a backbreaker of a goal, except it's not, except that they somehow find a way. And how about Eric Comrie in overtime and in the shootout? I mean, I'd have to look back. I don't know when the last time Eric Comrie would have been in the shootout is, but it's been a significant.
In fact, I don't know, Drew, but I know that he was involved in one when he was playing for Buffalo against Montreal. The reason I remember is because Johnny Kovacevic, who was playing for the Canadians at the time, so we know it wasn't last year when he was with the Devils. Oh no, he signed with the Devils this year, so it could have been last year, but I think it was the year before. And I remember the announcer saying, as Kovacevic was taking the shootout against Eric Comrie, said, "Oh well."
How many rounds deep were they into a shootout that Kovacevic was the guy jumping over the boards for the Canadians?
I don't remember exactly, but the point I'm making is that I know that he was involved in one for the Sabres, but it was probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Sure, I'm surprised it's even been that recently, but whatever it was, I mean, it was just, again, a fun game, a fun attitude, a fun atmosphere here at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue as the Winnipeg Jets somehow pull off come from behind victory. This is a team that has been so good holding a lead when are maintaining a lead when they've started the third period with a lead.
Yeah.
This was an instance where they would have lost that great track record.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because they were up 2-1 after 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then St. Louis ties it up, and then they get the late goal. Oh my gosh, the Jets, a team that's been dominant in the third period, isn't able to. Well, it seemed like they were going to get an unexpected loss in that instance. Instead, what happens is they pull it off and they fight back, and it just speaks to the attitude and the tenacity of this Winnipeg Jets team.
And I just want to give a shout out to everybody, the IC watch party, because the speaker apparently that Drew brought is not conveying our words. to the speaker right now. So everybody is working behind the scenes. Usually we've got producer Tim here. We don't have producer Tim right now. So folks are behind the scenes trying to get the speaker that are, well, they're all working diligently to get the speaker, but I don't think that's it. We'll figure out what's going on. But so hopefully everybody at home can hear us. That's the important one. But anyways, ultimately we'll hopefully get all the folks who were loyal enough to come and join us here at BP and smashing that like button. Because I can see they're still on their phones, Drew. So hopefully they're still smashing that like button. But
I don't know what I didn't. I don't know what I plugged in the wrong spot or I did something the wrong way.
Maybe alternatively, what we could do, Drew, if we wanted to be radical, is we could actually do our commercial break now, which would give you time to try and.
You think I can fix this?
I'm not suggesting you have a lot of chance, but that'll give you 2 minutes to try and make this right for everybody here. So why don't we do that?
Okay, we'll take an early commercial break.
Yeah.
We'll try and fix the audio so the people here at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue, you can hear the insight and analysis. They're making noise. They're loud. They're rowdy. The cheers were loud. And we'll see. We'll come back and we'll try and fix that. And then we'll come back with the game recap after that. So don't go anywhere. An early commercial break. We're coming right back here on the Illegal Curve post-game show.
We want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling site instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
Dining, entertainment, parking, and convenience, all in one spot. City Place is located in the heart of downtown Winnipeg, attached to the Canada Life Centre. Whether you're working, living, or out for a night in the downtown, make City Place your go-to destination before or after the fun finds you. Lunchtime, game time, anytime, visit City Place at 333 St. Mary Avenue, next to Canada Life Centre. Holt Dental, the new official dentist of Illegal Curve, has a philosophy rooted in two unyielding principles: genuinely caring about patients and providing outstanding service. Being a patient of Holt Dental means more than just checkups and treatments. It's taking the time to listen and talk to each patient so they can achieve the best long-term health, functionality, and aesthetics for their teeth, mouth, and gums. Conveniently located at Grant Park Festival on Taylor Avenue, Holt Dental is dentistry of the highest quality in a comfortable and relaxed environment. For more information, visit holtdental.ca. Oh, and there's plenty of free parking at the front door, too. Celebrating its 40th year as Winnipeg's home for stand-up comedy, Rumors Restaurant and Comedy Club has recently been named Canada's top comedy club and a top 5 comedy club in North America. From birthday parties to date nights to fundraisers and everything in between, Rumors is your destination for the best and most affordable live entertainment Winnipeg has to offer. For more information on upcoming shows, Rumors' incredible promotions, and to purchase tickets, visit rumorscomedyclub.com.
At Boston Pizza, a fast lunch doesn't have to mean fast food. Now you can get a $15 lunch served in just 20 minutes, including your choice of a main, side, and drink. That's right, lunch for $15 at your local Boston Pizza.
We are back with the Illegal Curve post-game show. We've made a determination that it's the cable, so we don't have a spare cable with us. So unfortunately, that's just going to be probably a bit of the reality tonight. I apologize to our friends here at Boston Pizza on Taylor, but they're still having a good time. They're still having a party. They're still having some drinks. I can see that. They're cheering. They're doing the Macarena in celebration of Gabe Velarde. Whatever's going on, it's a big party here at the Legal Curve watch party at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue. Ton of fun being had. Big thanks to 7JP 7B. He's given us a little bit of money there, talking about Eric Comrie and everything else. You'll drive 8 hours to be here. Absolutely. See us here at the Illegal Curve watch party at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue. It's a great time. Dave Manouk, Drew Mandel here. We got to adjust the camera. I'm getting a little bit cut off here a little bit.
I love it. More of me.
More Dave,
more me.
More Dave, less Drew. I'll just scooch over.
Oh, no, I don't want you closer to me.
There you go.
No.
I'm
scooching. You could have asked Dallas. He's right there. He could have just adjusted the camera.
I know, exactly. Maybe, hang on. I'll lean forward a little bit.
Oh, man. What an operation, folks. This is what happens when we don't have producer Tim, who called us during the commercial break.
Trying to help us
worried
out.
about us.
Okay, there we go. Now we're back to normal here. This is what's the Saturday night. Yeah, people are saying the wrong way. They see more of me. They want less of me. I don't blame them whatsoever. In any event.
That was probably my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, exactly right. Jets, big victory over the St. Louis Blues out of nowhere. Last minute victory for the Jets, coming back after being down 3-2 in the third period. We'll get into the first goal of the game. We do it.
Oh, we're doing the recap already?
Well, I thought we were getting into the play now. Do you have something else you want to talk about before we get into the recap?
No, not really.
Okay, so it might be time for the recap in that case. It is the Play Now game recap, of course, brought to you by our friends at Play Now.
The Play Now game recap.
Big thank you to our friends at Play Now for their continued support of the Illegal Curve post-game show. Don't bet on illegal sites. Bet with Play Now instead. Manitoba's local, legal, and secure gambling site, 18+. Enjoy responsibly. The Winnipeg Jets open the scoring in today's game. It's Nikolai Ehlers, his 18th of the year, assist to Cole Perfetti and Vlad Namestnikov. It's a nice pass by Perfetti, finding Ehlers. I thought Ehlers, might have been a little bit in tight into his skates, but he's able to still overcome that, and he goes top shelf on Joel Hofer to give the Jets the 1-0 lead. Joel Hofer had a really good game for the St. Louis Blues, by the way. He was a big reason why they were able to get that late third period lead before the Jets ultimately won the game in the shootout. But Joel Hofer, the Winnipeg kid, has had a track record of success against the Jets, and you saw a lot of that in tonight's game.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Drew. I thought he was excellent in this hockey game, made a number of really nice saves. I don't know what the high danger chances ended up as, Drew, but the Jets got a nice start. And you kind of thought, okay, as we talked about with the folks here at Boston Pizza before the game began, we weren't really sure what the game was going to look like, right? We didn't know what to expect. We knew, like I've been reporting, we've had 3 straight days of practice here in Winnipeg for the Jets, but it's a lot different. As Eric Comrie told me and the assembled media the other day, it's a lot different to be practicing than it is to be playing in games. And so from a Jets perspective, what a great start, right? Nikolai Ehlers takes a beautiful pass from Cole Perfetti. And we talked about one of the things that Scott Arniel talked about, I believe yesterday, was just how much, because remember, and I think, Mike talked about it on our show. Was it this morning? Or
that was this morning.
Honestly, it feels like it was like a lifetime ago already.
Yeah.
But when Mike talked about remember, Adam Lowry was that second line center before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so that line now in the now 9-game win streak, but at the time, an 8-game win streak before the captain. By the way, how much does Adam Lowry happy that they won that game? Because you got to imagine if the Jets don't win, he's like, he doesn't know if he's got
kiss of death.
He doesn't know if he's got that spot there next year.
Adam, you might be benched. The team won 8 in a row. You come back in the lineup, they lose. Might be back to the press box for you, Adam.
Exactly. But the key was that the second line has really gelled, and they're playing real well together. And Vlad Namestnikov gets that puck up to Cole Perfetti, who gets it over to Nikolai Ehlers. And like you said, Drew, does look like it's a little in tight, but he's got such a good shot, and he buries that shot one for his 18th of the season. Cole Perfetti, I think it's his 23rd or 24th assist. And Vlad Namestnikov, the guy who signed the 2-year extension to sign in Winnipeg, he gets his 20th assist of the season. And I think, I know we're doing a game recap here, Drew, but I think it's worth mentioning some of the comments from Vlad Namestnikov after morning media availability. Here are 2 of the comments Vlad Namestnikov said in response to, questions about once you get to Winnipeg, it's hard to leave. He said, why did it make sense to sign here? Just the guys, the way they treat you here in Winnipeg. Everyone's so nice to you. Just feels like a family. I think it's a very special group that can do some special things. Drew Mandel would agree with that. That's kind of the point he's made earlier on the show.
Yeah.
And then the other comment that I would leave you with was when he said, one of the reasons about getting this deal done, he said, feels good. I love Winnipeg ever since I got here. Loved every second of it. So wanted to get something done, and it was fairly quick. Happy we could get something done. Of course, we didn't have these quotes when we spoke about the news, which was broken on this morning's Illegal Curve. We didn't break the news, but we shared the news on this morning's Illegal Curve hockey show. And again, it's just another testament to what we've been talking about. It kind of furthers our discussion with Mike, and maybe we can always save it for next week. But I just think it's important to highlight the comments from, again, Vlad Nemestikov from Russia, grew up in Michigan. He's a UFA. He's having a career year.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to sign in Winnipeg. Could have probably got bigger money.
Doesn't need to sign right now.
No, absolutely not.
He doesn't need to rush to sign, but he chooses to want to be here, which is, again, what you've heard. What's the theme? Is you've heard guys want to be here once they get here.
That's right.
Maybe they get here and they're not that thrilled about it. They don't know about the city. They don't know about the organization. But then they find out that, yes, this is the place they want to be. And that's been, there's countless number of times where that's proven out to be the case.
Right. And so, again, like I said, that's a pretty big sidetrack from the fact that I was talking about the fact that he got his 20th assist. But I just think those are some important things to think about when it comes to Vlad Nemestikov and guys signing in Winnipeg. So I just some added color, I think. And if you would like to resume the
I appreciate
game recap,
that.
we can do so.
I checked on the high danger chances. 8-6 were the high danger chances in favor of the St. Louis Blues.
Okay.
Actually, in today's game, which goes to show you it was sort of a low event game.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on.
Which is consistent with what we saw through the first 40 minutes for sure.
That's right. Exactly right. So I mean, it's fitting that it seemed like that kind of game tonight. Again, not a big surprise given that these teams haven't played in upwards of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's the inevitability of it in that case. 1-0 for the Jets at the 4:58 mark. St. Louis ties it up about 10 minutes later. Robert Thomas, he gets his 14th of the year.
He loves playing the Jets.
He loves playing against the Jets, has a lot of success against the Jets. Pavel Buchnevich is the primary assist, the only assist on this goal. It starts with a bad read in the neutral zone by Logan Stanley, where he goes for the hit, and it turns into a 2-on-1 situation. And, great shot by Robert Thomas. He's a goal scorer. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to score goals in this league. I believe I saw that it was his 100th career goal in tonight's game, also foreshadowing his 101st career goal. What'd you say, Bruce? Milestone game, exactly right. But, again, we all know where the warts are on this Winnipeg Jets team. There's not many of them when you've won 40 games in the first 57, but this was just the wrong read just a poorly executed read. You just can't let the guy get the pass through. You take the body well, but at that point in time, it's too late. The pass has already been made, leading to the 2-on-1.
Yeah, and it's ironic that Robert Thomas is the guy who had Logan Stanley's stick in his arm, because we noticed that, of course, in the neutral zone. But, I mean, look, Stanley can't handle the puck that's chipped in. Fine, there's some pressure from Robert Thomas, who's got Stanley. But Stanley's got to play that more aggressively. Get your stick out of there, because you're not doing yourself any favors if you're not going to stick with him. He goes for the hit along the wall, and they get the puck behind him. And now suddenly, he, like you said, Drew, he's caught in no man's land. There's nothing he's going to do. I didn't love the way Eric Cromie played this. I thought he gave too much net.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the mistake is Logan Stanley's at the blue line, and then again at the neutral zone. You could also say that the Jets, the top line Velarde wasn't exactly tight with that puck, and neither was Connor. So they kind of handcuffed him a little bit. But at the end of the day, really, Stanley wears this one because of the way he played it in the neutral zone.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. 1-1 after 20 minutes between the Jets and the Blues. Again, a bit of a haggard game, haggard first period. Both these teams feeling things out. It seemed like an early season game more than anything else at that point, or a game where two teams have been off for 2 weeks, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Jets get the only goal in the second period. It's Gabe Velarde. It's his 25th of the season. Assist to Mark Scheifele and Colin Miller. It's a great stretch pass by Colin Miller. And Scheifele is just so patient, and he finds we don't miss Spency. That's what that sign says behind us. Is we got people here saying that we don't miss Spency. We don't know where he is, but it's not important.
He's at Festival.
Festival. And now the crowd's cheering that we don't miss Spency.
Ooh.
There's going to be
as long as they don't say that about Ezzy.
There's going to be controversy, let me tell you, the next time we're all back together here at Boston Pizza, or the next time we're back together on Monday for another edition of the Illegal Curve post-game show.
Yeah.
Just goes to show the kind of fun that we're having and the kind of fun that we always have when we get together here. Jason Sheps is over. What are you saying, Jesse? Jason, what's that say? Maybe we miss Spency's now. We're changing our minds. It all depends on what's going on here. It's chaos. It's a lot of fun.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either.
What did Regis Philbin used to say? He used to go, "It's nuts.
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts, Kathy Lee. It's nuts." But great goal by Gabe Vilardi, but a great play by Mark Scheifele, having the patience to sort of draw the attention of the St. Louis Blues towards him, and then he tries to hit Vilardi with the pass. It actually looks like it deflects a little bit off of the skate of Ryan Suter, and Velarde's right there, who immediately tucks the 5-hole on Joe Hofer. I love the aggressive pass by Colin Miller, the stretch pass. I love Scheifele's patience and just letting the play sort of the Blues come towards him. And then I love Gabe Vilardi being able to tuck it through Joel Hofer in a real bang-bang situation there to give the Jets the 2-1 lead in the second period.
And let's not forget that this play all starts, as you said, Drew, like in the Jets' end.
Right.
I mean,
by the way, when you look back at the Ehlers goal, the Vlad Namestnikov play is a play at the defensive blue line where he headman, then he's then able to headman it up to Perfetti.
Right, but what I'm saying in this instance is that it was this close to being a 2-1 game with that, play right in front of Eric Comrie.
Sure, right.
They don't get it to go, and I'm not sure who missed. It was 26 from the Blues who missed that one. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember the numbers associated with the Blues, of course, because we don't follow them. But you're right. Nice stretch pass by, and Mark Scheifele recognizes, hey,
I'm basically Walker is 26.
Oh, it was Nathan Walker. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Scheifele waits, but this is an incredible play, right? Because it's a 1-on-2, and then he sees that Vilardi's there. So he waits for Vilardi. Now it's a 2-on-2. The Blues actually have the advantage in numbers. And Scheifele kind of makes it look like he's going to wait for the Jets to get numbers. So that's where the deception comes in, to my mind. He makes it look like, okay, I'm just going to wait. And then, boom, Vilardi makes a nice cut to the middle, goes right to the front of the net. Two Blues are right there. And look, there's a fortuitous bounce, I would say, for Vilardi there, but it ends up on a stick, and he puts it through Hofer, and suddenly it's a 2-1 game for the Winnipeg Jets.
That's just it. I mean, you have to get into the position to take advantage of that bounce. That's what he did. And I mean, he's been so good for the Winnipeg Jets this year. I don't think anybody needs to know that at this point in time. And of course, he had a bigger goal, a more important goal come the third period. But the Jets end up after 40 minutes. They have that 2-1 lead. And we know how good they've been after 40 minutes. So, I mean, you thought, okay, this is a team, they're in a good position here. But at the same time, you said it earlier, St. Louis is a desperate team. Realistically, they're not going to be a playoff team. They're too far behind. But, if they want to give themselves a sniff, if they want to give themselves a little bit of a hope, they got to start somewhere by winning games that they're not expected to win on home ice. And it looked there, they were there for a little bit. 16 seconds into the third period, they get the tying goal. It's not a good one.
No.
It's not a good one. Eric Comrie is not going to like this one. He obviously makes amends as the game goes on.
Yeah.
But he's not going to like this one at all. With Robert Thomas, his 15th of the year, Pavel Buchnevich and Cam Fowler get the assist. It's a sort of an old school wraparound goal,
which you don't see very often.
Not that often anymore. A little bit. But Comrie's too deep. He doesn't play it well. He's not great moving lateral post to post on this one. And it's a good goal for the St. Louis Blues very early into that third period when they're desperately in need of good things to happen for them.
Absolutely, and it's Drew, you were saying that Eric Comrie's not going to like it. I agree. I don't think Neil Pionk's going to like it. Dylan Samberg are going to like it. I think Samberg and Pionk were the guys who were on the ice for that one. So you just watch the play kind of develop, and it is unusual, but that's kind of like you've always got to be ready, right, for puck drop. As soon as the whistle goes and the puck goes down, you got to be ready. And
it was real quick off the faceoff.
That's right. So 16 seconds into the game, or into the third period, sorry, you're not expecting. Because I wouldn't say it wasn't. It was a ho-hum 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is not. I mean, the Jets have the numbers. It's a 4-on-2 essentially, but the Jets really abandoned. Neil Pionk is standing. He's not really protecting anything. He's kind of caught in no man's land. And so, again, I don't like the way Eric Comrie plays this, but you also really, again, like I said, there's no excuse for the Jets when you have four guys essentially protecting the house, and you allow the Blues to kind of get that sort of freedom. There's no reason for it. Shifley does a quick over his shoulder, but Sandberg, fine, he sticks with his man, but Pionk is just kind of slow. And it, like I said, it's just it looks like a bit of a comedy of errors. But like I said, to me, again, like I said, I didn't blame Logan Stanley exclusively. I said he was the primary reason for that first goal again. And I would say, Eric Comrie is definitely on the hook for the way he's playing it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you still have to look at the rest of the lineup. And the top line doesn't play that particularly well defensively because they have the numbers. And you give up that sort of advantage, they tie the game. It's not a great goal for the Winnipeg Jets.
No, it's not. I would agree with you there. 2-2 at that point in time. Thank you, T. Kona Pauly. We appreciate the contributions as well to our financial well-being.
And read the comment for the folks on the podcast.
What you don't realize on the wraparound is that fresh ice even in his crease, and Comrie didn't get a good push off goalie union. I think that's what T. Kona is saying there.
Well, T. Kona Pauly is a former current goaltender, but the point is that he's always defending goaltenders.
Well, it's funny, I was at the Moose game with my kids on Monday, the holiday, and I guess probably the second period started, and my kids were noticing that who played goal for the Moose on Monday? I think it was Dom DiVincentis. And they were noticing how he was trying to sort of create the snow buildup.
Oh, yeah.
Right when the period started, right in the crease and in the blue paint. And they're saying, Daddy, why did you want to do that? And like trying to slow the puck down. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. But there's an instance where fresh ice, the fresh pebble, and curling the fresh pebble, the rock. I'm trying to remember now. Does the rock go straighter on the fresh pebble, or does it go? I think it goes. Yeah, forget it. It's not important.
Don't ask me. I was kicked out of the West St. Paul Curling Club
recently.
No, not recently. When I was in high school, because I dropped the rock on the ice and they asked me to leave. My one and only instance of trying to curl.
Why did you drop the rock on
the ice? Not
intentionally.
I just, was.
Why were you carrying the rock?
I don't know. I was probably doing something stupid if it's high school and I was being an idiot. But yeah, my one attempt to curl was quickly killed.
Maybe we should create an illegal curve bonspiel.
My uncle, who's he's won the one.
Hang on, if we did an illegal curve curling bonspiel, would you guys be interested? Okay, there we go. I asked if we do the illegal curve curling bonspiel. Yeah, of course there's booze. Okay, maybe that might be an idea for the off season to talk about.
Well, I won't be participating.
But we don't have to do it at the West St. Paul Curling Club, Dave.
I don't think I wasn't banned. I just was kicked out.
It was just a 1 day.
Yes, I was asked to leave. Yes.
Okay. Well, it looks like people on the chat are saying they're in. People here at Boston Pizza are saying they're in.
And Drew, just so you know, Jackie is saying it's straighter on fresh ice.
Straighter on fresh ice. I used to curl. You'd think I would know that, but I wasn't a very good curler. So but I was very good at going to the bar afterwards. That's really where I excelled at. So,
well, Drew, your idea seems to be getting some momentum here.
Okay, well, something to keep in mind.
Some Drewmentum.
Yeah, some Drewmentum. Something we'll keep in mind for a little bit later on as we keep going here on the Illegal Curve post-game show. It's presented by, of course, our friends at Play Now. 2-2 after the Robert Thomas goal, and it seemed like the Jets were, within millimeters of tying it up. The replay, you watched, that was one of the most epic goal mouth scrambles. If you check it out, if you missed it, Art But Sports, that great social media account that takes images from sporting events and then finds a painting, a historic painting to match it up with. They took that goal mouth scramble because it seemed like there were about 9 players all within the blue paint of Joel Hofer, and the puck somehow stays out for the Winnipeg Jets. It looked like they were about to take the lead. You saw it on the replays, just crawling along the goal line
multiple times too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like, okay, it scooped along it and then it kicked out. It went and it ran again, and you're like, wow, is that close?
Yeah.
But hey, missed it by that much, and
that's just it. Missed it by that much. And then, of course, seconds later, Kyle Connor, he's left all alone. Typically a time where he would likely capitalize on an opportunity. Hofer makes a great save with
a great pass to Connor too in front.
Right. Hofer looks like he makes a save almost with his armpit at that point in time.
Yeah, it was weird. I agree.
And again, Jets come that close on those two separate. Oh, look who's here.
Winnipeg Joe.
Winnipeg Joe Joe from Winnipeg has showed up with a box of cables to try and fix whatever's going on with the speaker here. Where did you come from, Joe? That's what I want to know.
He came from Gimli.
He drove from Gimli. How long have we been doing this post-game show for?
Not that long.
The irony is that as soon as we're getting within 20 minutes or so, we're wrapping up, and Joe's here. He's plugging in cables.
Doesn't matter.
He's fixing things around.
Joe cares about just giving a little bit of quality to the folks who spent their entire evening here with us at Boston Pizza.
This is a remarkable group of people we have. All of you here at Boston Pizza, and of course, everybody that's watching us at home on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, smash the like button.
Smash it for Joe, not for us.
Yes, you got to smash it for Joe. That's who you're giving the success to. Is you got to smash it for Joe tonight. You got to give him the props. You got to subscribe to the channel. You have to, of course, also make sure that you are. Have your notifications turned on so that you always know when we go live here on the Illegal Curve post-game show. Albeit, I got to tell you, Joe seems like he's struggling as well. So,
I don't know. I'm fasting, but hold on. Is that plugged into here though?
Yeah. He just unplugged the one,
Oh, okay.
There's too many cables. There's too much going on. There's lots happening here.
Lots going on.
In any event. We got things happening. You guys are filling with things between the Jets and the Blues at this point. And then the Blues take the lead. It's a 3-2 goal. It comes late in the game. It's on the power play.
Yeah.
Pavel Buchnevich.
Well, maybe go through the whole chronology.
I'm going to go through the sequence. I'm going to say how it gets to that.
Okay.
Buchnevich, it's his 12th of the year. Thank you. He's been struggling to score goals for a long period of time.
And not that we believe in jinxes, but you should probably remind people where I was poo-pooing the ability of the Blues power play, because I think
true.
Again, the Blues power play is
30th, I thought, or 24th.
No, 23rd or 24th or something like that.
Well, what happens here, it's a very weird instance, is that we're talking about Neil Pionk's stick shatters in the offensive zone
on a one-timer,
and now he's in a bad position where it's almost a breakaway opportunity, and he has no real choice other than to hold the St. Louis Blues player, and he takes a penalty for it, but because it's a delayed penalty, he then takes another penalty, another holding penalty.
How many times do you see that?
You don't often see a guy get called for 2 holding penalties at the same time, basically. And the Blues end up with a 4-minute man advantage as a result of these 2 penalties. And it's late in that first power play. It looked like the Jets are almost close to killing it off.
Yeah.
But it's late in it, and Pavel Buchnevich is walking in. He's right at the basically right inside the hash marks in a prime shooting position, and he's got an absolute bullet, and he rips it top shelf on Eric Comrie, and the Blues take the lead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and you're thinking, oh, that's a bit of a killer for the Winnipeg Jets at that point in time.
Yeah, there's no question.
Keeping in mind, like you said, the Blues still have a whole other 2-minute man advantage to come.
Well, that's the backbreaker, because you're like, okay, again, for a normal team, Drew.
Yes, for a normal team.
You would look at that and you'd say, okay, the Jets have just given up a goal, but they're going to be able to kill it and kill the other power play, and then at least they'll have a lot of time. Ooh, now you've just killed some of the background noise. I like that, but hopefully we're still coming through to everybody in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're still good.
Okay, we're still good, but no, I mean, so to me, you look at the way the Jets just persevered. Because, like you said, Drew, that's a backbreaker to be like, to look up at the clock and realize, man, we got to kill another penalty, and we're going to have less than a minute to go if we're successful in killing that other penalty. So, and I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if they got Comrie off the bench at that point.
They did. It was a 6-on-5 goal.
Right, yeah, because Perfetti was on, so of course they did. But anyways, the point is, this is a tough PK because it's a long one and they're grinding. I do have to say though, I do like the fact that. I mean, this is also Vlad Nemetskov's pissed off because his stick was slashed out of his hands, so he had no stick to kind of. He's trying to turn it around. He's trying to challenge. So that's you'll see it here on the replay here, Drew. But that's a bit of a problem. But at the end of the day, it was held. Sorry, it wasn't slashed. But ultimately, that's a hard save for Comrie to make.
Yeah, it's a great shot. It's a great shot. It's a fantastic shot. I mean, look at it going. Buchnevich pump fakes on the shot. He sort of freezes Colin Miller,
and then he goes. Sundqvist is also partially screening.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, this is a goal scorer's goal.
No, for sure. And I think he's gone a little bit of a stretch without scoring.
He had gone a lot of games consecutively without scoring.
So that he was feeling good.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, to me, I don't love the fact that. There's some mistakes there, of course, but ultimately that's just a tired group and they're just trying to get through the first PK. They're unable to do so. Big blast. Neil Pionk's not happy and he's sitting in the penalty box thinking, Well, I really hope they can at least kill one more so we can try and have a chance with less than a minute to go.
Yeah, exactly right. At that point in time, they were unable to get it going at that point.
Kind of like us with this speaker.
Yeah, the speaker. Joe's trying. I got to give Joe credit here.
We owe Joe's wearing an icy hat. We have to give him. We might have to get him like an icy kook. And
Joe, I'll be honest, Joe. We're wrapping up the show in a couple minutes here, buddy.
Not a couple minutes.
I know that you're trying hard, and I appreciate the effort. And everybody here does.
Whatever.
But it's you can keep going for it.
If we can get it for 5 minutes, it's worth it.
There you go.
For all the people who were, kind of looking at us, but not actually being able to hear us.
So at this point in time, there's 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game, and the Jets are still shorthanded for 2 minutes. They kill off that last 2-minute power play. And you got a 50 seconds of what you would think you're going to be chaos. It takes the Jets all of really 22 seconds to tie the game with Gabe Vilardi. He gets his 26th of the year. It's his second of the game. Assist to Kyle Connor, assist to Cole Perfetti. And it's not tonight our Seagram shot of the game, but it's our Seagram's tip of the game by Gabe Vilardi.
Hold on, but you might want to...
The Seagram shot of the game.
Dave and I are disagreeing. He thought it should go to Kyle Connor for the shootout winner.
That shootout goal was
We don't
slick.
give shots of the game to the shootout in the shootout. It's not real hockey. That tip by Gabe Vilardi is so skilled. It's such a fantastic tip by Gabe Vilardi off of the Kyle Connor shot. Cole Perfetti. I mean, Connor is the one who's able to gain the zone. Perfetti gets the puck retrieval.
Who, by the way, to be completely candid to everybody who's listening, Drew and I both thought initially, we're like, how did Kyle Connor get in deep and then somehow get back to the blue line to get that pass?
Yeah.
Then we realized it was Perfetti and Connor.
Well, we could see where the 1. You couldn't see the 8 or the 9 that were in front of it. But, great job by Perfetti. Great job by Kyle Connor. He gets the shot through. And I'm going to read a quote coming up in a minute or two from Jim Montgomery, who's upset with how the Blues played that.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that Kyle Connor had the shot lane to get it through. And then a beautiful tip by Gabe Vilardi, beating Joel Hofer. And just a unbelievable turn of events for the Winnipeg Jets to go from looking like they're going to have a real disappointing loss late in the third period to somehow getting it all the way back and tying it up and sending the game to what was a very entertaining overtime.
Yeah, and you, especially with the fact that Adam Lowry's, tries to gain the zone, he gets rejected. But I really like Kyle Connor's persistence. He's aggressive. I thought Connor, again, you could see the caring. He had a couple of nice plays on the PK too, I thought, where he
Thank you for coming.
Where he basically made you see that active stick and that hockey sense with him, which is where he's so good in terms of anticipating. But, he slashes in along with, he goes to the point. Cole Perfetti, the extra man on for Eric Comrie, he gets it back to Connor. And it's just Montgomery can be upset with the shot getting through the lane, but I mean, Kyle Connor is Kyle Connor for a reason, right? He is so skilled.
So here's what Jim Montgomery had to say. This is courtesy of our buddy Luke Korak, longtime guest of ours on the program. He covers the Blues for NHL.com. Jim Montgomery, quote, "The breakdown was we didn't get in the shot lane going out at the point. We've got to force that puck to go down to the wall, and obviously there was a shot lane and a guy that tipped it. That high tip is going to be available off a low to high if we don't get in the shot lane." I mean, the St. Louis Blues are a team that frankly makes mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's literally nobody there. I mean, they're over. They're man to man essentially at this point, and he's not wrong. There's no obstruction in the shot lane, and it's an easy one for Kyle Connor to kind of sidestep, get it through, and Gabriel Lardy with an unbelievable deflection to tie the game. And you can see, look, he's got 26 goals already.
Yeah,
he's already set his career high in that regard, and he's on pace for close to 37, 38. So what a huge year he's having for the Winnipeg Jets. And again, it's just another example of this Jets team not having any quit in their game.
Yeah, exactly right. Then overtime, back and forth, multiple times. We thought the Blues had scored. Multiple times we thought the Jets had scored.
Yeah.
It was a very entertaining overtime period between the Jets and the St. Louis Blues. Oh my gosh, Joe from Winnipeg is giving up. Something is wrong. We're not sure what.
That makes Drew feel a little bit better because
I just plug the things in. Timmy's so okay. You plug this cable in here, you plug that cable in there, and it's supposed to work. Sometimes it does, the best laid plans of mice and men, as the old saying
Go
goes.
awry, of course.
Yeah. In this instance, but we're still having a great time here at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue, and I hope everybody at home is enjoying the Illegal Curve post-game show as well. It goes all the way to the shootout, and Eric Comrie, who he gave up a couple sort of not great goals in the course of the game, or maybe a little out of position on the first one, not great on the second one. No blame to him on the third one, but boy, does he come up big in that shootout, stopping all three of the St. Louis Blues opportunities. And these aren't, slugs out there. Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich, and then Braden Shen. Yeah. Kyle Connor is the only goal scorer for the Winnipeg Jets.
Which was an absolute snipe.
Oh, I mean, you're like, if his goal had been scored on a breakaway during the game, it would have been the shot of the game. There's no question about that. Instead, Connor, very fittingly, after being the healthy scratch on Thursday in the Four Nations game, he is a goal scorer, and you saw it there. Mark Scheifele just before him, he hit the post, beating Joel Hofer in the shootout attempt, but it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the Winnipeg Jets, with a come-from-behind victory over the St. Louis Blues, almost two different games, 40 minutes of a little bit of dreck, and then 25 minutes and a shootout of some real entertaining hockey. And the Jets somehow just keep it rolling as they, I believe, with Washington having lost, that puts the Jets. Does that put them atop the NHL now?
No, I don't think Washington lost.
Washington won.
But the Jets have now jumped ahead of Washington, and it seems like we are going to be watching for the remaining 25 games of the season the Jets and Capitals battling it out for supremacy in the NHL. So we'll see what happens. Of course, there's still a lot of season to go.
Right. But then the Jets now ahead of them in both the points, 1 point more.
Yeah. And they got 3 more wins.
They have 3 more wins. And now with points percentage as well, they're ahead of the Washington Capitals. So we know how good the Jets are in terms of the division.
They're below I think they're below, aren't they?
But you see the Jets.
Oh, it hasn't been updated. Sorry. You're right.
It hasn't been updated. It's remarkable. The Jets are now, let me do some quick math, 9 points, I believe, ahead of the Dallas Stars. I don't know what the Stars did today. I don't know if they won or played or whatever. So they're either 7 or 9 points ahead of the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars, by the way, are the third best team in the entire NHL.
Again, it's funny because we've seen instances of this for the Jets when they are chasing teams and they're unable to gain ground. And what's amazing to me was that, remember, Dallas, when the Jets had won 6 or 7 in a row, Dallas had also won 5 or 6 in a row.
And they couldn't gain anything on the Jets.
Couldn't gain any ground. So how frustrating must that be for them to be, playing such good hockey and still not able to gain ground on the Winnipeg Jets?
Yeah. The Dallas Stars beat the New Jersey Devils 4-2 tonight is what happened there for Dallas.
But is that one already?
That's final. I don't know that it's been accounted for on the NHL.com standings. For whatever reason, the standings, which usually update almost immediately after a game ends, aren't doing that tonight. Maybe the NHL is the website for folks are still on the Four Nations break, whatever it might be. In any event, the Winnipeg Jets will leave St. Louis tonight victors with a come-from-behind shootout victory. Really just a remarkable third period, a remarkable fun game for the Winnipeg Jets. And they head home now to face the San Jose Sharks on Monday night. Post-game show on Monday night will be around 9:15 p.m. with the 6:30 start time. So it's a bit of an earlier start time to Monday's game. It's an Amazon Prime game.
Remind the folks, Amazon Prime.
6:30 is the game, is puck drop on Monday. 9:15 is post game, and then the Jets head out on the road Wednesday in Ottawa, Thursday in Nashville, before coming back home on Saturday night to face the Philadelphia Flyers. So that's the next week ahead for the Winnipeg Jets. But for tonight, coming back from the Four Nations break, a 4-3 victory for the Winnipeg Jets over the St. Louis Blues. It's been a hell of a fun day. A hell of a fun night here at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue. A great party was had. These folks have been so terrific to us, as they always are, our friends here and the good folks who come and watch us and watch the game with us. We're doing another one of these, I believe, in just a couple weeks' time. So stay tuned I'll have the date for you on Monday so you can mark it down, enjoy it.
Oh, right, because we punted one in January, I think, right?
December. We punted one where it was going to be like a 9:30 start time against Anaheim or something. And so we're loading them up for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be here a fair bit.
Okay.
So that'll be good. That'll be something to look forward to because these have been so much fun all season long. You get together with Jets fans and you let the party roll here. And just, what more can you say about that? Tonight, the Winnipeg Jets. It started this morning with the Illegal Curve hockey show. That was a ton of fun. It ends tonight with the Illegal Curve post-game show. And that's also a ton of fun. Got to say a big thank you to, of course, everybody who's tuned in and everybody who's joining us here and of the sponsors of the show who make this show, the Saturday show, the website. They all make it a possibility. That's our Friends of Rumors Restaurant and Comedy Club, where Tim Meadows has been performing all weekend long, and they've been selling out every show imaginable. So congratulations to our Friends of Rumors. Our friends at Play Now, they're the title sponsors. Holt Dental, they're just down the parking lot here at Boston Pizza on Taylor Avenue. So you go to Holt Dental, you get a clean bill of health on your teeth, and then after waiting the appropriate amount of time for the fluoride to set in, you come to Boston Pizza for a meal at that point in time. City Place, Seagram's, support these fine businesses because of their continued support of Illegal Curve hockey. You have one thing to say? Is that what
because I'm not gonna go too long in terms of the prospects, Drew, but this prospect, Garrett Brown, 2022 fourth rounder, a defensive defenseman who's a right shot guy for the University of Denver. Was limited because he got injured last year. I think he only played 8 or 9 games. Scored his first goal in the NCAA last night for the Denver Pioneers in a rare loss. I think they lost the game.
And they don't usually lose.
No, this year they're not. They're not as good. Western Michigan, Zach Naring,
the Broncos, the Broncos of Western Michigan.
He scored yesterday, and he also scored today. So I haven't updated that one, but Garrett Brown, the right shot defenseman, scored his first goal. So we think that merits a mention. The Moose, I think, are in action tomorrow against Toronto. I have to check the schedule. But, of course, illegalcurve.com will be updated with all the latest info for you.
There you go. Illegalcurve.com is, of course, your home for all the latest Winnipeg Jets news and audio. Our YouTube channel, just the same. We'll be back Monday night for the Illegal Curve post-game show. So be sure to join us then at around 9:15 p.m. For Dave Manouk, for everybody here at Boston Pizza, for everybody watching at home, thank you for joining us. Until Monday night at 9:15, we wish you good night and good luck. And thanks for watching the Illegal Curve post-game show.